Diese Podcast-Folge wird auf Englisch sein, über ein sehr, sehr spannendes Retreat. Und wenn du Englisch einigermaßen gut kannst, wirst du folgen können. Also, this podcast episode is in English about the very, very special retreat, the yearly reset from Dr. Silvana and Noah Laith. They created a very special retreat, including detoxification, old traditions like yoga, Reiki, and plant medicine, which is a very special combination we never heard about. And we met in Amsterdam on the Biohacker Summit. And now we talk about this very special retreat. And you will learn about the connection about toxification with heavy metals and stuff like this, and autoimmune disease, hormonal problems, Hashimoto's, and so on. And a very special retreat, 10 days, which will transform your life. Let's go. Willkommen im Power Through Nature Podcast. Hier geht es um deine maximale Energie, dein maximales Wohlbefinden und dein größtes Potenzial. Und das alles durch die Kraft der Natur, getreu unserem Motto Power Through Nature. Erfahre mehr über Vitalpilze, Biohacking und Wellbeing. Lass dich inspirieren von motivierenden Geschichten zu Transformation und Ganzheitlichkeit aus jahrtausendealten Traditionen bis hin zu modernster Forschung. Wir sind Smains und es beginnt mit dir. So, welcome to the Power Through Nature podcast, Dr. Silvana and Noah Laith.
Hello.
I'm very happy that you are here.
We are very happy to be here.
Yes, so the thing about your retreat is it's a very special one. So what is interesting to me is especially how does it came to be. Maybe we start with Silvana. I saw you are a medical doctor and now you do a very special retreat. So where does this story start?
So I'm a neuropathologist. I studied pathology in this medicine school, and I was specialized in brain tumors. And to be honest, my story starts from two reasons. The number one is because I was not feeling like 100% fulfilled working on symptoms, like waiting people to have cancer and then, especially in brain tumors, giving them like one or two options that we know are not going to work. So I wasn't being fulfilled in that. Like I wanted to help more. I wanted to have more impact on people's lives. And the other reason it's actually, you will find it in any doctor that was in conventional medicine and shifted to functional medicine. It's because it has his own story. It has his own sickness or disease, and he had to work for it in turn to find the answer. So I grew up in Lebanon, and I grew up in a village with my dad, and my dad was always careful to give us food from our land. But the problem that my dad did not know that pesticide and insecticide were harmful. So I grew up eating from our land full of pesticide and insecticide. And when I entered med school, I started feeling really, really tired. The whole time, I could not complete my night shift, or by the end of the night shift, I would feel really dead and drought of energy. I used to blame it on the med school rhythm. And then the problem really appeared after, I don't know if you heard about Beirut blast or Beirut explosion.
Yes, I heard about it.
I was working in the hospital back then. I was just 10 minutes away of the explosion.
Okay.
So while working in the hospital, I remember it was Corona time, and we were crazy taking off our mask and everything, and we inhaled a lot of toxins. After 1 week after the explosion, my health kind of shifted dramatically. I went from feeling tired to feeling dead. I cannot do anything, have zero energy by the end of the day. So I started having joint pain, irregular period. I started having all this table of symptoms that could not fit together in any syndrome I know as conventional medicine. So I went to doctors, and they asked a lot of blood tests to do. And even though all the auto antibodies came negative, they wanted to fit me in autoimmune disease. even though I didn't have any blood tests that tell you I have an autoimmune disease. And they wanted to put me on corticosteroid. And I didn't want to take that because I already know a lot of people taking corticosteroid, and I know a lot of secondary effects of it, and I didn't want to take it for no reason because I'm just being labeled as autoimmune disease based on nothing. So I started doing my own research, and there were I remember an article that came out from an American journal talking about all the toxins that were released during Beirut explosion. And I started researching each toxin and what are the symptoms that can be caused by this toxin, and everything fit in my symptoms. I was, oh, this is me. This is what I'm feeling. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Yeah, and I started researching detox protocol, and I went with my husband Noah to Thailand to do a detox. And after this, I don't want to sound like coming from a Hollywood movie, but really I changed. I started feeling more energetic. I was a different person. I started being more energetic. I want to do more stuff. My period became more regular. And I decided that I know a lot of people suffer from the same things, and maybe doctors are trying to fit them into other diseases. So I wanted to kind of spread the awareness about the importance of detoxing your body and the impact that toxin can have on you.
Oh, that's a really crazy story and a great one. I saw this explosion, and I think it's the biggest explosion ever.
It was.
What are some toxins that were in there? Maybe they are also in our environment?
In the cause of the explosion was the explosion of tons of ammonium nitrate.
Okay.
That was by itself, it's a toxin if you inhale it. And there was a lot of heavy metals as well with these toxins. And most of my table fit in the intoxication of heavy metals.
Okay.
And you can see, I remember also, Max, you could see suddenly during the detox of Silvana, she had everywhere rashes. She was everywhere. She had the eczema.
Yeah, I didn't mention this. Yeah. When I did the detox, I never had a skin problem in my life. Never, ever, ever. And when I did this detox, I had this skin rash all over my body. My whole skin was red and was very, very itchy. It was a kind of eczema, but I never had eczema in my life. And I panicked back then. And when I researched, it was the toxin moving around my body.
Yes.
And it was for 2 days, I was like, what is this? What is happening to me? And after this, my skin became great, and I felt great after. It's kind of my skin was trying to get the toxins out.
That's very interesting because there's also mushrooms for the heavy metal detox. So we can go in there. There's also when people take, especially shiitake, they can get these rashes and they think they get ill because of the mushroom, but it's a detoxification process.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a very interesting story. Before we go into detox, the interesting part is also about you, Noah. I saw some very cool things. You are a very successful entrepreneur. And how does it came to be that you are now also do the yearly reset, your retreat? What's the story about this?
Well, I had a CBD supplement company, and we went in Canada and cross-listed in Frankfurt. We went public in an IPO. And after I have exited that company, I still felt that there was a lack of fulfillment. I was living in the center of Barcelona, and so I thought, I had a piece of land, and there was a caravan in it. It was just the start of COVID, so I thought, we cannot do anything now anyway. Let me go and work in the garden. And I slept for one night, and to be honest to you, sleeping one night in the middle of nature, I've never slept since years that deep. So one night became 2 nights, 2 nights became a week, a month, and it has been a couple of years. And step by step, Silvana and I, decided to build a permaculture here, where and the reason why we decided to build a permaculture, except to become resilient and have your own food and have your own organic, ecological, seasonal food, we've seen that it does not matter if you have a carnivore diet, it does not matter if you have a raw vegan diet. We've seen people thrive on both diets, but what we've always seen is that the people that thrive on any of the diets are people that get their products very close to nature, as close as possible to nature. So we've decided to be closer to that nature. And every time we eat, let's say, outside of our land, our bowel movements are different, our energy is different. You don't even need to wash the food and the vegetables, and when we take them, only take out the earth, let's say, but because you know what's on it, you know who fed it, you know, the organisms, and even the plants. Like we learned that plants are when they get some stress, they create a survival mechanism, and you eat that survival mechanism from the plants. That makes you stronger. It's like the hormesis principle, which is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? That, but then on plants. So being closer to plants and to nature has changed a lot of things for us.
Yeah, amazing. That's a cool story. So you had your, like, after exit, like a little bit, not a crisis, but you wanted to find something new and you found it in nature. And we have
Yeah,
Silvana.
it's not very popular to say that, but actually COVID saved us in the sense
Yeah.
that it brought us closer to nature. And I've never thought that I would leave a city, because I'm a city man, and I love the city. I love the vibe and the energy of a city. But every time, you know, now when we come home and there is some tranquility, that it's kind of genetically coded in us. Like we have always have been in nature for thousands and thousands and 100,000s of years, and cities just exist in the last, I mean, since Babylon, that was the first city. So it's only a very short period of time of our physical evolution. So hardwired in our genes, in our body, we are meant to be in nature, or nature need to be part of us in one way or another. And even if you live in the city, you can still take some things to become part of a nature and an environment that is within nature.
Yeah, it's amazing. And how do you both met and then decided to do this together?
We met at a health congress in Spain, and yeah, obviously I saw Silvana for the first time, and I didn't believe love in first sight, but yeah, I did when I saw her. So,
Amazing.
so that's how. I actually asked her to marry me after 7 days, but she thought you were crazy.
Oh, great. Yeah, decisions have to be made. I think it's a very good combination. I think there are many good, like, not really many, but there are some cool doctors and practitioners, but they don't have already the entrepreneurial spirit. So you both combine it and it's like perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Amazing. So let's go into it. What's special about your retreat is that you do many different things, like in a 10-day period. So maybe we start with the most important one you already mentioned, Silvana. It's a detoxification. So maybe you could speak about what is detoxification and why do we need it?
Okay. So nowadays, because there's a lot of people interested in longevity and anti-aging, if you want to do longevity right and if you want to do anti-aging right, you should have a detox protocol. One of the most important pillar in anti-aging on longevity is detox. So detox consists of following, it could be a plant diet or it could be a certain protocol, plant-based or non-plant-based, depends on the level of toxin, obviously, that will help you to take all this, I call them nasty toxins, out of your body. Why you need a detox protocol? Because simply back in the days, you have your own detox organism. I have a lot of patients coming to me saying, but I have my own detox organs. Why would I need another protocol to help me detox? Like, yeah, if you would live like thousands of years ago, I would tell you, yeah, you have enough of detox organs because we were not surrounded by that amount of toxins. But nowadays, like just by waking up from your bed, brushing your teeth and washing your face, you accumulate like 20 or 30 toxins. Like just in this short period of time, because now we breathe toxins, we eat toxins. In our skin products, in our beauty products, there is toxin. Our toothpaste, there is toxin. Like we are surrounded by toxin. And the only way that you should not be, you can be not exposed to toxin is to live in a bubble. And it's not possible. So what happens now is that the amount of toxins that surrounded us increased like very, very fast. But our gene and our organs for detox did not have the time to change at the same rate. That's why you need an outside help by a protocol to help boost your detox organ. What we do is take this excess amount of toxin in your body that your organs cannot sometimes I forget the word in English, sorry, cannot process. And then we boost your own organs because you don't have to be on the protocol the whole year. You just take the protocol, you boost your organ, and then you let your organs work.
Maybe you can go into, you had your own problem was with the heavy metals, and how did you feel? So maybe we have also many women in our community, they have like autoimmunity disease or like brain fog, and it's getting more and more and more. Maybe it's because of heavy metals. Maybe you can say what you felt and how you get rid of it.
So we should understand that each body is different. What may cause me symptoms and other people may not cause them anything. So this is the danger about toxins. Sometimes you are intoxicated and you have zero symptoms. Mm-hmm. So in my case, my symptoms were an extreme fatigue. Like I could not, for example, spend the day without I have to lay in bed at least for 2 to 3 hours. I cannot do anything. I cannot do any activity. But indeed, like heavy metal can cause any symptoms from brain fog, from hormonal imbalance. Like in my case as well, I had a missed period. It can cause, let's not forget that the first organ that absorbs toxins and heavy metals is thyroid. That's why we have a proof that a lot of thyroid autoimmune disorders, such as Hashimoto disorder, which is hypothyroidism, is caused by toxins, is caused by heavy metals. And when you give those patients a detox protocol from heavy metal, their thyroid symptoms disappear. Right. Why? Because there's like a very big similarity between the surface of the toxin and the surface of the thyroid cell. So while your body is trying to attack this toxin and to protect you, it attacks at the same time your thyroid. Mm-hmm.
That's great. It's great to hear. So maybe some people now think, oh, it's a little bit of a hardcore process. Could you describe what is happening while detoxing?
So like my protocol for detoxing consists, like any protocol of detoxing actually should be based on 4 steps, okay? The first step is to limit your exposure. You cannot start any detox protocol if you still have an ongoing source of exposure. What do I mean by that? For example, if you have a mercury filling or mercury amalgam, you cannot come to me and I put you on a detox protocol. You have to take this amalgam out, or else my detox will be harmful to you, because all I'll be doing is taking the mercury out of your fillings and putting it somewhere else in your body. And mainly mercury, where it's going to go? It's going to go either up to your brain, either you're going to swallow it and go directly to your digestive system. So first of all is limit your exposure. Limit your seafood intake, the fish intake, eat organic. Like while on detox protocol, you should eat organic. This is the first step. Step 2 is test yourself. What do I mean by test yourself? For each toxin, we have a special test. I'm going to talk a little bit more about heavy metal since it's my specialty and I have my own experience with the heavy metal. So to enable to control something, you have to measure it. So if I don't measure your toxin, I'm not going to be able to control it. For heavy metal, we have a lot of tests on the market, and you will hear a lot of doctors recommend different tests. My own opinion, I come from the school that believe in only one test for heavy metal, which is the challenge urine test. This is the only test that will give you an accurate idea about how much toxin you have in your body. Why this test? Because heavy metals and toxins in general love soft tissue. Okay, so when you have any toxin entering your body, it's gonna go and hide in your soft tissue. Some are gonna go into the adipose tissue, some are gonna go to the muscles, some are even more evil and gonna go straight to your bone, like lead, for example. So the challenge urine test is based on me giving you a chelator. A chelator is a substance that link the heavy metal or the toxin inside your body, and it's very strong that it's going to take it out of your soft tissue. So what happened, this molecules that I'm going to give to you is going to take the heavy metal out of your soft tissue and able to excrete it, so I can see how much you have in your urine now. So the amount I have in your urine is kind of parallel of the amount you have in your soft tissue. So I can treat you. Because you have a lot of doctors prescribing, for example, blood test. Yeah, blood test can show you the amount of toxin you've been exposed to in the last 3 months. Before that, I don't have any idea what's in your soft tissue. So that's not a very accurate test. You have another test that a lot of doctors prescribe with the hair mineral analysis. First of all, I doubt there's a lot of doctors who know how to analyze this test, because there's specific rules about the balance between each mineral, and if some rate between two minerals is not right, you consider directly the test non-valuable, and there's not a lot of doctors who know how to analyze it. And second, that this test is not accurate, because who tell me that the toxin I found in the test come from within you, inside of you, or from the shampoo you put in the morning?
Right.
I cannot make the difference. Yeah. So we have a lot of tests. Not all of them are accurate. I go for the challenge test. For example, for mold as well, we have, like, for each toxin, you have a specific test. So you have to know which is the best test. That's why you have to go to a doctor to tell you this. So this was step 2. Step 3 is prepare your body. And unfortunately, a lot of doctors ignore this step. A lot of doctors will test you and directly put you on a heavy metal detox protocol. But I have to prepare your body, because detoxing, like giving you a chelator, especially when you have a severe intoxication, can be harmful to your body, because chelator, unfortunately, are not so smart. They're not only going to bind heavy metal, they're going to bind also vitamins and mineral inside of your body. So if I don't prepare your body, you're going to feel even more tired. You're going to feel even more symptoms. That's why it's so important to prepare the body. And the last step, depending on the result I got from the test, I make a protocol designed for you. And usually my protocol is always by replenishing you, giving you mineral, giving you vitamins. I prefer IV. Some people don't like IV, so I prescribe them oral supplements, but oral take more time. And then I give you the chelator, which means like replenishing, deplenishing, replenishing, deplenishing.
I understand. That's really interesting. And all of that in 10 days.
I mean, the 10 days we have in the yearly reset is kind of a preparation for your body, because in the yearly reset we don't only do heavy metal detox, we do also peptide, we do the IV. So we create the correct environment for you to do the detox, but I don't start a heavy detox protocol on the yearly reset.
Really interesting. Okay.
That's right.
So
the yearly reset, well, what we do actually, first we test. As Silvana said, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it, right? So we test everything. We test the longevity markers, we test your biomarkers, we test your hormones, we test your heavy metals, we test also your sperm and everything that can give us a kind of a screenshot of where your body is at. And we add that with blood work that you have done in the past. And then we kind of see a movie, what's happening to your body. And based on that movie, we tell you, look, this is what's happening in your body. Because often people come to us, and even biohackers. We had many biohackers that comes to us and they said, no, I'm healthy. And then we do the test and we tell them, well, yes, you are healthy in this range that this is the range of the lab. But these ranges have shifted comparing to 50 years ago, because the government and the labs get kind of appointed what is the minimum maximum, and that has shifted. So some people have very low testosterone, but it's still within the maximum and minimum, and then we tell them, no, you're way too low, or you have way too high estrogen or estradiol. And or what I love about, what Silvana always talk about, what is the minimum healthy range of mercury? It's 0. Like, you're not born with mercury, you're not born with aluminium, right? So we it's like when you go to labs, usually they just give you the test and that's it. But we kind of explain them how to read a test, that will work on your body. So that's the first thing. And then we focus on the gut. Silvana always say, all diseases start and finish with the gut. So we go and we use daily colonics, we use body work, we use peptide therapy and IV therapy to reset and clean the gut. And then we add, obviously, ice bath and breath work and plant medicine and animal medicine, and because the gut, and the brain, they are kind of interconnected more than most people think.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So you mentioned it right now. What you also do is the peptides, which could be new to many, many people. So what's about these peptides in the gut and so on?
Peptides now, I love to say that peptides are the next probiotics, because everyone now is getting peptide. Everyone is trying to get peptide. In my regarding the gut, what I include as a peptide is the BPC. Now we have a lot of proof and a lot of articles coming out, showing the effect of BPC on the gut lining. Just to tell everyone what is BPC 157, it's a peptide that contains 15 amino acid, and it's found normally in your gastric juice. And this is how we extracted it. We extracted it from the gastric juice of mice. So we discovered that BPC can help heal any ulcers or any inflammation in the gut lining. And what's also amazing about BPC is that kind of gave us hope for a disease that a lot of doctor and conventional medicine ignore, which is leaky gut. We all know what is leaky gut. When you're the cells inside of your gut, usually they should be very tight together. So what's happened is because of all the unhealthy food you're eating, all the inflammation you're creating in your gut, the cells gonna space. So now you have all the undigested food are gonna pass between the lining, causing all the inflammation as well. You have all the bacteria are gonna pass. So what happened with BPC? BPC stimulate the cell to secrete more tight junction molecule, so the cell can get back together while healing all the inflammation and while repairing your microbiota. So BPC is like magic for me for the gut. So you can take BPC kind of prevention. The dosage is obviously different from taking BPC to treat something such as inflammatory bowel disease or leaky gut. So for the gut, mainly is BPC. We have different protocol for different diseases. For example, for joint recovery and muscle pain, we have a different protocol. But peptides are the new magic in medicine.
Yes, I feel about it. They are very, very special. So I had leaky gut. It was my first real biohacking mission for me to heal it. Had the allergies and stuff like this. So that's how our immune products came to be, because the mushrooms have this very special ability to balance the immune system back into homeostasis. It helped me. So very interesting that you can also go into this with these peptides. And I saw them on their website. There are many, many different ones for different things. So it's like magic. Last question about the detox. I read on your website that the preparation should be that the body needs to be more alkaline. Could you explain why it has to be that way?
Because as simple as that, the only place in your body that should be acidic is your stomach. Everywhere else enable for you to function every enzymatic reaction in your body necessitates an alkaline environment. If it's not alkaline, it's not going to function. But nowadays, unfortunately, we have the opposite. Everyone is running with a alkaline pH in the stomach and acidic pH in the body. So we're running with the contrary. And why? Part of it could be blamed on doctors because we're prescribing too much anti-acidic to the patient. So we're lowering the acidity in the stomach. And because of all the inflammation, all the toxin around us, all the food we're eating, and the inflammation is acidic, so we're highering the acidic pH in the body. So like just to make it in conclusion and more simple, like your body as well to function is like your body is alkaline by function, but while functioning, your body also produces acidity. So every reaction in your body to happen necessitates an alkaline environment, but when it happens, the byproducts produce acidity. So your body, to kind of balance this acidity, is going to use your minerals. That's why it's very essential as well to have enough minerals in your body and not to bring more acidic to your body because you're going to be deplenished in mineral at the end.
Okay, yeah. I understand. So for especially the detox process, it would be very important to be more alkaline so that the body has more minerals for all the detox process.
And for all the detox, organ to function, for your liver to function, like the two-phase liver detoxification necessitates an alkaline environment. Everything in your body to function necessitates an alkaline environment. When you higher the acidity around the organ is going to stop functioning and your body is going to now focus on how to balance this acidity.
Yeah, very interesting. So I think it's a very potent protocol. Do you have some like example stories of women with maybe autoimmunity or hormonal problems, something like this?
Yeah, I have a lot of example of people coming to me for. I'll have, for example, people coming to me for thyroid hormone issue. I'm gonna mention this story. She came to me with imbalanced hormone, imbalanced estrogen in her body, and when I treated her gut, the estrogen came back to normal. The problem was not the ovary secretion. The problem was the gut microbiome. Because now we know there's a certain bacteria in the gut that are responsible of controlling the level of estrogen in the body. So we call them like estroboloma. So she had a very severe case of dysbiosis that affect her hormone in her body. So like we were testing the ovary, we were trying to give her all the supplement to manage the environment around the ovary, but the problem was not the ovary. The problem, once healing her gut, once following a detox protocol for the gut, her estrogen came back to normal. And this is another point to talk about is like when you have a symptoms, sometimes the origin of the symptoms is not the organ itself. Sometimes it comes from somewhere else. For example, like we talked about thyroid and toxins, but we can talk as well about gluten and gluten and thyroid as well. Like we know that a lot of people that have gluten intolerance at the same problem will have thyroid problems. Why? Because the molecule of gluten resemble as well the thyroid cells. So the body get confused while trying to attack the gluten is going to attack your thyroid as well. That just to give people like an example that sometimes the symptoms is not the thyroid itself, it's not the organ itself, it comes from somewhere else because we're a whole. We should see the body as a whole. This is what I love about functional medicine, is we see the body as a whole. We don't just treat the symptomatic organ.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So also behind these hormonal problems, for women, especially if they try to lose weight, they maybe have problems with it because they have like water in the tissue and they try to cut calories and they can't get off weight. You also have weight loss included in your retreat, right?
I mean, the weight loss Noah always used that is like a byproduct of the detox. Like while you're doing your detox, because what happens, as I mentioned in the beginning, toxin loves soft tissue. So a lot of toxin gonna go and hide in the adipose tissue, okay? So you hear a lot of these stories that I followed a diet, I could lose I don't know, 10 pounds, but then you have these last 2 pounds, I cannot lose them. It's because your body is so smart. Your body is trying to protect you. You have this toxin inside the adipose tissue, and your body don't want you to lose these fat cells, or else the toxin is going to be in the blood and you're going to be sick. So your body is trying to protect you, and like it's like want this fat to stay here to protect you from the toxin. That's why a lot of people, after you give them a detox protocol, they follow the same diet they were following at the beginning, and they lose these 2 pounds.
Amazing.
And also during the detox, something very important that happens, Max, is there is a plaque. Like if you don't brush your teeth for a couple of days, you're gonna also have that plaque. There is also the same type of plaque, just to give you an analogy, in the lining of your intestines. And during a detox, that plaque gets cleaned. So when that plaque that is stuck on the intestines, when it gets cleaned, suddenly the absorption of food, of nutrients, of minerals, of vitamins, it goes way higher. And suddenly people, they tell us always after the retreat, wow, I am so much fuller. I feel more energized. And also, if you eat less and getting the same amount of vitamins and minerals, you will have not only more energy, but less energy goes into the digestion, because there is a lot of energy needed for digestion. So that's also a byproduct, let's say, of detoxing, is that your absorption power goes higher.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And that's also what I have felt when I had my allergies and stuff like this. I was also tired, especially when there was a trigger of the allergy, like the plant stuff. I had the, how do you say it in English? We say in German pollen. So the things that are flying around, and you have the hay fever.
Mm-hmm.
You get really, really tired. So I don't have this anymore because the gut is healed. And they say like 80% of your energy can go into the immune system just for problems. So there's a huge potential to have more energy in the gut. And I think alone this fact is really, really interesting for detox. So it's amazing.
People always say like the gut is the second brain. Mm-hmm. I always say, no, your gut is your first brain. And I have a lot of evidence on that. Like, okay. As you said, like 70% of your immune system is in your gut. You have 90 to 95% of serotonin in your gut, not in your brain. And you have 400 times more melatonin receptor in your gut than in your brain. And you have every day anywhere between 30 to 50% of your energy going on your digestion. So you have all the reason to follow your gut feeling. Don't follow your brain.
Yes, that would be good. And what do you say, melatonin receptor?
Yeah, you have more melatonin receptor in the gut than in the brain.
Oh, I didn't know this. It's interesting.
And now, now they're trying to use in a lot of formula for gut healing, they're putting in the formula melatonin.
Amazing. So that's a new fact for me. That's cool. Nice to hear. So the melatonin is very important. We also have many of our community have problems with sleeping, so they don't regenerate, and then you have all the issues following that. Yeah, so amazing stuff to hear this. So you do this detox and all the science stuff, so to speak. But what's very interesting for your retreat is also that I found the old traditions. So I'm a big fan of Taoism, traditional Chinese medicine, of course, with the mushrooms and stuff like this. So you do Reiki, a little bit of yoga and stuff like this. How that came to be into play?
First of all, because I believe it's not only about detoxing your body, it's also about detoxing your mind. Your mind and your body are connected. So if I detox your body and I don't detox your mind, I didn't do detoxing correctly. And if I detox your mind and I don't detox your body, it's the same. That's why we wanted to introduce this marriage between detoxing the body and detoxing the mind, based on, from one hand, the conventional medicine with all the articles. I don't do anything if it's not medical based. This is a very important principle for me. But at the same time, I wanted to invite holistic and functional medicine into that. I wanted to be the bridge between both. So that's why in the retreat, we offer the IV, the testing, the peptide, like we offer all the supplement, but at the same time, we come back to functional medicine. We come back as well to this mental side, to yoga, to Reiki, to acupuncture. Like we try to combine both, and we have amazing results with both of them.
And we also add we've seen that ice bath therapy combined with body movements. The beauty of when people come for 7 days or 10 days, and if you do something every day, twice a day, after 10 days, people think, wow, I've grown so much in such a short period of time. But that's because they immerse themselves and they add all these functionalities and modalities into their system. And it takes usually 40, 50, 60 days before changing habit, but at least you give them the momentum to continue changing and an accountability partner, because usually after that we stay, we have a membership program where we stay as their accountability partner. So we've seen a lot of people, they know what they have to do, but they just need that guidance and that push. A lot of people want to be perfect. They want to do it perfect. And perfect is the enemy of starting anything. So we give them that perfect framework so they can start into it. And definitely adding breath work, adding plant medicine and animal medicine. One of our shamans, Justin, he did more than 2,000 ceremonies. And he said, nowhere in the world I have seen people go that deep, that fast. And the reason he believes, because I asked him, I said, I don't want to influence you. What do you think is your reason? And he said to me that I believe that because of the gut is empty, because people did breath work and ice baths and body work and colonics every day and all these other modalities, people release more. It's like instead of scratching the surface has already been cleaned by breath work, and then with the plant and animal medicine, they go way deeper. And that's what Silvana says. Even the protocols that we use for animal medicine are medical protocols that are used by the MAPS Institute or by the Mind Foundation and by the Johns Hopkins University and hospital. So Silvana is very believer and focused on evidence-based, and everything that we do is that, and we just follow her protocol.
We also focus on integration as a part of plant medicine. We give a lot of exercises to help people with integration, to how, this is one of my favorite topic, let's say, is I love, because for me, when you're having any kind of mental healing, you should prepare yourself by NLP exercises. You should help people to know how to journal. How to journal is a big part of healing. It's a big part of integration. So we guide them through this as well. I'm also a trauma specialist, so I help people to understand what is trauma, medically talking, and from holistic terms. But for me, I try to focus on medically, how do we define trauma? Psychologically, how do we define trauma? What are the symptoms that you could feel? Because a lot of people think that trauma is only PTSD, but no. A small thing that can happen to you in your life could be a trauma for you. Everything you are right now is based on all the trauma you got from your life and from your parents, and that your parents got from their grandparents. We focus on all this, and we focus on group healing because we do this in a group. We do this together, so everyone feels connected.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very special topic. Maybe to give a little bit of context for people, plant medicine, what is this? So you are talking about ayahuasca and other psychedelics. So what will happen there is you could face some things that happened in your past, which you maybe don't even know about anymore, but that have an influence into your everyday life and your whole results you are getting in life. So it could be a very transformative experience. Maybe you both, and maybe Noah is starting, could elaborate when you first had some experiences with psychedelics. How was it, and has it changed your life? To give a little bit of context for people who don't yet have done this.
Yes, I mean there are two paths of psychedelics. There is the recreational one. I grew up in Amsterdam, so I was exposed to a lot of that part. And there is the medical one, which I got exposed a bit before meeting Silvana. And what it what it gives you, it takes out any type of, if you use the right protocol. That's what I love about Silvana. I mean, not only because she's my wife, but about her medical protocol, is that integration starts not after the journey, not after the ceremony, not after taking the plant or animal medicine, but it starts way before, right? It's preparing the mind and the body for that journey. So that's the medical one. And using a medical protocol, when I started plant medicine with that hat, let's say, it changed a lot of things. It changed, you know, like often you know what you have to do in your life, but you always tell yourself, okay, later, tomorrow, next year. And animal and plant medicine, psychedelics, gives you the clarity about what is really important in your life. It gives you the pleasure of releasing a lot of unnecessary luggage, unnecessary tension, unnecessary beliefs, about who you are, about how much you love yourself, about the world, about past traumas with your parents, with your teachers, with people that unintentionally did harm to you, at least from your own mindset. I always like to say that psychedelics and animal medicine help you to forgive the unforgivable, because for each one of us, it's something different. So yeah, it's and thank God, like now there are so many researchers that we are allowed to speak and being vocal about it. Because 10 years, 15 years ago, it was almost unheard to hear a medical doctor speak about plant and animal medicine. Now there are very specific protocols for addiction, for relaxation, for mind. Like we even have some people that are very high in the world championships of memory that use it for brain enhancement and neuroregeneration. It's being used now for there is a study in Leiden, a medical study in University of Leiden, for people who are paralyzed, and they are doing neuroregeneration. And Silvana can talk a lot about that study also. So there is so many.
Yeah, it's an ongoing study for people who have stroke.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, tell about this one. It's interesting.
Yeah, Silvana, if you wanna share the.
Yeah, because we don't have a lot of treatment for stroke in conventional medicine. Like either you come before 3 hours and we have a bigger chance to save you and to preserve your functionality, let's say your motility. If you come after 3 hours, usually it's too late. We try our best, but you're gonna end up having a part of you paralyzed or a part of your body non-functioning because you stop the blood flow. So now there's an ongoing study. They were in a phase 2 clinical trial that treating stroke patient with DMT even after 3 hours. And we're having people regaining back their motility.
Crazy.
Regaining back their function, the people who are paralyzed regaining back the function of the organ. Because we know now that DMT have decreased the size of the stroke and helped with neurogenesis. So all the nerve cells that died help to bring new nerve cells, like to make this area that was like basically dead, to make it alive again.
Crazy. So you work with DMT also. So maybe you can elaborate what plant medicines and animal medicine and so on, and for what case, so to speak, you are using it.
Yes, so that's actually a very good question. We use mostly 5-MeO DMT, which comes from a extraction of a frog, and that's what we call it animal medicine. And we make sure it comes from the right people, the right places, and it's being given by someone who's experienced with having nurses and a medical team behind them. So people just relax and can go deeper into their journey. Sometimes just knowing that there is a medical doctor, we've seen that helps a lot. So that's animal medicine. Plant medicine, we use ibogaine. It's a root from Gabon and Cameroon for people who have 80% of the clients that do that are addicted. 20% are biohackers and people who just want to expand their consciousness. And so it has a lot of functionalities, but there is the 80-20%, and usually ibogaine is for addiction. It can be coffee, it can be shopping, it can be cocaine, heroin, benzo, fentanyl. It can be compulsive disorder, like any type of. And again, it's all evidence-based. We work one of the medical doctors that has been working with ibogaine for the last 27 years and did more than 2,800 sessions, let's call it, for only people who are addicted. So yeah, you can use it, and we are all addicted in one way or another. Is it not addicted in thinking, addicted to coffee, to sugar, to you name it. So addiction doesn't always need to be something very heavy like heroin or cocaine or alcohol. So yeah, that's the two plants, and based on the jurisdiction, we use it in places where the jurisdictions allows it. Because ibogaine, for example, is not allowed in the United States yet. There are a lot of studies and clinical trials, but it's not. It has not passed the FDA. The FDA wants to, like, they even sent a letter to the public, like, anyone who comes up with a protocol that is tested, we would love to speed up that process. So there is more awareness. But yeah, we don't. We use, depends of the case. Every medicine and every plant or animal medicine has its different outcome, let's call it.
Yes, that's very interesting, especially ibogaine or the roots. I have read some very special things concerning people who are addicted to something. There's a very high rate of get rid of the addiction after just like one session, or it's very crazy
Yes.
to even talk about it. So they're very special substances.
Yes. We have
and even the experience of ibogaine is different.
Yes.
Like when you ask people who experience ibogaine, they describe the experience differently from other psychedelics. For example, you will hear this a lot, especially for addicted people, addicted to substance. You will hear that they felt there was something in their brain and trying to fix their receptor. They describe it in this word. Like people experiencing like this in their brain. And it's true, ibogaine modulate your receptor and kind of reset them. But they feel it, like they tell you, I felt like there's something getting in my brain, and you have a lot of people describing the same experience.
Amazing. Yeah, I also tested like a very small micro dosage of ibogaine, just because I think it's very, very interesting, and just to feel what it is about, like difference to mushroom, difference to other stuff. And it's very bodily also, so you kind of feel it. And maybe we should get this right. If somebody is interested in substances like this, they are holy, there are shamans doing this with you, and it's very, very important, the set and the setting. So it's very cool that you created such a space for people with even different plant medicines and animal medicine, which is, I think, the most potent psychedelic there is on the planet, from the toad, the 5-MeO.
Yeah.
So you should get to people like Silvana and Noah for doing things like this. It's very important.
Exactly. Like before doing any ibogaine trip with a patient, we always do all the necessary blood tests. We do even cardiac echography to make sure that the heart is well, because if there's any type of arrhythmia or any type of heart problem, it's like contraindicated to do ibogaine. That's why, like, please, like, people should not try it alone. This is like it's an amazing medicine, but it should be done in the right settings.
Yes.
And a lot of people died actually. They had cardiac arrest because they used it with cocaine or they used it with alcohol 1 hour before, and then suddenly the two substances are fighting. Both are lowering the heart rate. So and then the people get into cardiac arrest, and there has been a lot of people, at least 36 people in the last 10 years that has been documented that died.
Wow. Yeah, that's good to know. I never heard about this one. So they are very, very potent, and you should get in a very professional environment like your retreat. So what you are creating there is like it's the pinnacle of transformation, so to speak. You detox the body, the mind with all the Reiki and stuff like this, with the old traditions. Then you have the transformative experience with the psychedelics. So there are 10 days that are fully loaded, and you will come out like another human being, if I am right.
Yeah, I always try to describe these 10 days as a door opener for you to take a change in your life. Like, they're gonna help you a lot during this day. 10 days, we're gonna open the door for you to be healthy. We open the door for you to start getting rid of any symptoms. Like, I'm not gonna tell you after this 10 days, everything is gonna disappear. No, after this 10 days, you're gonna have the right mindset. You're gonna have the right protocol. You're gonna have the right food that you should eat for your body. You're gonna be tested or have all the blood tests to show you what's happening inside of your body. So it's like a 10 days where you have the chance to grow and to make the change that you have to do in your body.
Very, very amazing stuff. I think it's the most special retreat I have heard about so far. There are like yoga retreats, there are some detox retreats or psychedelic ones, but all into one with these very special protocols is really amazing. So what you're creating there is really, really amazing. I like it. And if you like, there's a link down below. You can check the yearly reset. That's it, called how you call the retreat. There is one in January, there's one in February. And we met actually in Amsterdam on the Biohacker Summit. And we talked about our mushrooms because they fit in your protocol very, very good about the detox, also the hormonal problems and stuff like this. So we are very happy to meet you actually there.
Likewise.
And
We love
yes,
your product.
thank you very much. So maybe if you go to the yearly reset, you will find our mushroom products too.
Not maybe. Not maybe.
Yeah,
Definitely. I personally use them, and like I was telling you just before we starting,
Yes.
like I use the reishi with a lot with me and with a lot of my patient, and like I love this product.
Yes, I think it's a very, very good fit. We have some psychedelic retreats that are using also the reishi to calm the mind. So it's good against anxiety. Also, the lion's mane is good for the neural regeneration. So everything we basically talked about, also the detox, especially the gut,
Exactly.
is like the main part of the mushrooms are doing this exactly thing. So it's a perfect match, so to speak. So it's good that we met in Amsterdam.
Definitely.
Yes. So thank you very, very much. That was a very interesting episode about all the stuff you are doing. It's very comprehensive in a way, but we hope it's simple to understand. And very, very nice what you are creating there. It's in Thailand, right? Where is it?
Yes, it's in Koh Samui.
Koh Samui. Wow. So
Yeah.
for all the listeners in Germany right now, it's 6 degrees outside, raining. I think it's another story in Koh Samui.
Oh yeah, and it's a very, very beautiful island.
Yes. So thank you very, very much, Silvana and Noah, for giving
Thank
us
you
a
for having
short
us.
review about your nice retreat. It's very, very amazing.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and until next time. Vielen, vielen Dank für das Hören oder Sehen des Powerful Nature Podcasts. Das freut uns wirklich sehr, deswegen möchten wir dir was schenken. Wir haben dir hier unten in den Shownotes ein kostenloses E-Book verlinkt. Und zwar kannst du dort alles darüber lesen, was die 4 größten Vitalpilze der Welt alles so können, wo die herkommen und ein bisschen was auch zu unserer Story. Also unten klicken und dann ein kostenloses E-Book abstauben. Wir freuen uns natürlich riesig über jede Form von Bewertung, Kommentar, Like, Abo oder wie auch immer man das nennt. All das kannst du bitte da tun, wo du das entweder hörst oder auf YouTube, wo du es siehst. Da kannst du nämlich auch kommentieren. Also schreib uns einen lieben Kommentar, wie du die Episode gefunden hast oder wenn du neue Anregungen hast. Vielen, vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.